You know, the public face of Wirtz Corporation, of the Blackhawks. But there's more to it. If we didn't have these other businesses, we quite frankly wouldn't be able to fund the losses that the Blackhawks have had. So what we want the Hawks to do is be able to stand on their own, and that's how we run each of our businesses. They have to stand on their own and not feed off the other company. And if we do it that way, then you have a successful organization. If you start allowing yourself to commingle all the business together and then you only look at one number, it's pretty hard to manage it. First thing that we did was not to develop an organization that didn't carry grudges. And whatever happened in the past, happened in the past. And if you carry a grudge, it means you're looking back. And if you don't allow people, so if I don't carry grudges, and I don't expect our managers to carry grudges both on and off the ice, and that's just unacceptable business behavior, and we're looking ahead. So really, the whole year was, let's look for what tomorrow's going to bring and not worry about yesterday, because we can't change what happened yesterday, but we can change what happens tomorrow. And I think that has to start from the top. And so all that negativity was left behind us, and I think that's why you've seen so much positive outpour. I mean, we've had brought these great superstars and retired players, Ben Bobby Hall and Stan Mikita and Tony Esposito, and they just want to be a part of the Blackhawks, but they see the future in the Hawks, and they see these young kids, and they know we have the best sports fans in the country, in North America, and they know that, and they know that crest, and that crest and we're going to make that crest be synonymous with truly a great team, and you're going to see that crest if you're walking on the streets in Berlin on somebody or in Hong Kong. I promise you, we're going to really take that thing to new heights. If you look at it as a brand, it's not any different than if you look at the wholesale liquor end of the business or beer or wine and taking a brand and marketing it locally. We have retailers that we sell our products to, and you have to talk to those retailers, and the retailers then talk to the customers. The only difference in the Blackhawks are that we have one less tier, and we have those fans, and we have to develop the fans. So the parallels are there, but you have to sell the product. It won't sell itself. You have to find different marketing niches to do that with. My grandfather was a great role model. I was lucky enough, he passed away in 1983. I came in the business right after college. I worked for a year for Joseph E. Seagram, moved to New York, and then came back and worked in the beverage side of the business. So I got to interact with my grandfather for 5 good years while he was very active. A couple of the last years he was in and out of the hospital, and he'd been sick, but I had 5 years, and he taught me many lessons without ever telling you something. I mean, he was a classic individual that would bring you into his office and wouldn't tell you what the subject matter was and have you sit there. He'd make 2 to 3 to 4 dozen calls. He had every number in his mind memorized. You realize there's top CEOs he was talking to. We had a company at that time called Rathjen, which is a wholesale liquor company in Northern California, and it was not making very much money and was losing money. He had the statement on the top of his desk, and I could see it. He had me sit there for over 6 hours and look at just the cover sheet of the statement, but he never mentioned it at all. And then once he's finished with me and he'd made all these calls and everything else, he said, "That's fine, you can go now." And I had no idea at the time, being 23, 24, what he was doing, but he was really telling me he's the boss and he wasn't happy with it, and just wanted me to know that. Knowing what to do is easy. Doing it is hard. And so being decisive when the time is right is important to do. Making decisions sound easy, but there's many, many executives out there that have a real tough time to make decisions, and that's not any casting dispersions on people, but if once you make your mind up, it's very important to make that actionable and not keep looking back. If you put your company first, it always takes care of you, and you think of the company as something that's growing and nurturing, and you have to give it sunshine, you got to water it, and you have to take tender loving care. So sometimes that means making some very hard decisions, but you get loyalty from your employees by being loyal to the company, not being loyal to the individual. And if you can foster that kind of atmosphere, then people looking at it, and then you work together with whatever our common goal is, And that is to, on the hockey side, is to win a Stanley Cup. And if you want people to sign on, that mission, and if they don't want to sign on that mission, maybe there's something else they want to do. But it's not going to be working for the Blackhawks.